Did you know Netflix has just launched its most expensive film ever, a sci-fi blockbuster that cost a staggering $320 million? Yet, critics are calling it, damn, soulless, and a banal boondoggle. So why are millions still watching it? Discover the hidden truths about modern streaming culture. In the cinematic chronicles of high-stakes gambles, The Electric State emerges as Netflix's latest $320 million science fiction odyssey, a spectacle that evokes both awe and controversy in equal measure. Directed by E. Anthony and Joe Russo, architects of Marvel's cinematic zenith, this alternate vision of 1990s America ostensibly melds star power and technological marvels into one of the most costly productions ever undertaken by any streaming service. And yet, the dichotomy between its glossy veneer and critical reception underscores deeper questions about art, commerce, and cultural priorities. Historically, Hollywood's penchant for blockbuster gambles has wavered between critical triumph and financial fiasco. Recall the 1980 disaster, Heaven's Gate, which eviscerated United Artists, standing after its exorbitant costs drowned in tepid reception. The Electric State, awash in a tide of criticism, seems to hark back to this pattern. Words like soulless, banal, and obvious, as leveled by The Hollywood Reporter and the New York Times, paint a damning picture of a $320 million philosophical misstep. Was the allure of star-studded casts and digitally crafted worlds worth eclipsing the sharp socio-technological critiques embedded in Simon Stalinak's original graphic novel? Yet, such criticisms scrape only the surface of vastly divergent audience dynamics between the 1980s box office-dependent landscape and modernity's streaming ecosystem. While tickets remain tied to footfall and screen presence, the Netflix model thrives on passive consumption, a domestic audience prone to half-watch content amid household distractions. As Ian Sandwell of Digital Spy remarked, audiences probably do just want a big, spectacular blockbuster to watch at home, with two massive stars. But must critical merit be the price of accessibility? From a systemic perspective, the liberal progressive critique of such ventures probes the crux of wealth allocation within creative industries. The Electric State epitomizes a systemic prioritization of spectacle over substance, where six-figure sums flow into digital landscapes of sci-fi dystopia while intimate, community-driven storytelling struggles for attention. Victoria Luxford of City AM aptly questioned whether the production offered value for money, a sentiment underscored by Rotten Tomatoes, where a staggering 15% critical approval belied its top Netflix rankings. One wonders, does allowing a select few blockbusters to monopolize cultural bandwidth inadvertently sidelines marginalized voices most vulnerable to technological futurism's unchecked promise? Historically, literature and cinema often balance critiques of industrial progress with celebratory marvels. During the early industrial vigésima century, Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times critiqued mechanization's dehumanization while couching its most poignant message in the universal language of comedy. Similarly, Stalinak's graphic novel warned against consumerist apathy, a theme that appears muted here. Can artistic adaptation within hierarchical Hollywood preserve ideological sincerity amid market pressures? Some experts sense a seismic shift looming. Critics like Sandwell and Luxford broach whether the $320 million investment will yield societal good or merely perpetuate escapist consumption. What viewers might miss amidst robotic spectacles is this underlying irony. Are we casual spectators to revolutionizing interconnectivity or complicit disseminators of art reduced to algorithmic predictability? What, then, remains of modern storytelling's result if blockbuster cinema morphs from aspirational collaboration into sanitized, laundry day viewing? Though households turned into passive participants of choreographed escapism realize they breathe through screens that monetize fragmented attention? And when the next artistic gem, brimming with untold courage, goes unseen among monopolizing supernovas, will audiences awaken or retreat, as the wisps of explosive yet forgettable critiques fade into Friday nights? Such concerns cling persistently to the air, posing an unsettling question: are Hollywood's promises of tomorrow more than merely epic ends, or should this creative ecosystem structurally evolve toward fostering conscientious, self-aware art forms that prioritize equity alongside spectacle? In my view, The Electric State epitomizes the empty spectacle of today's streaming giants, where ballooning budgets and star-studded casts fail to mask the pervasive hollowness beneath the surface. It is striking that $320 million can be spent creating a lavish dystopian world without truly engaging with the societal warnings that inspired it. This is a disservice to a global audience increasingly conditioned to consume escapist mediocrity without critique. How long can such corporations evade accountability for their role in perpetuating mass distraction at the expense of meaningful artistry? Suscríbete y dale like para mantenerte informado.